last thing here on our Metacritic roundup is Stray, which we briefly mentioned last week because it is out now, and it has an 84 on the PS5 and come on, load for me, and an 83 on the PC. I mean, we can sort of get into this now. I am really liking Stray. I've been playing it. I'm in chapter 10. I know you finished it. How are you finding it?
I kind of love it. And like I hate cats.
Yeah, I'm not a cat person, and I'm kind of like very into it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people talk about like how it's such a good cat game, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel cats are more evil than this.
I do like that one of the features is you can just knock stuff off ledges.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of fun, but
no, I think this game is great. It's like right along the kind of game that I want in terms of the types of puzzles that you're doing, the exploration that you're doing. It's like, I think a game that I can compare it to in the way it plays, sort of. It reminds me a lot of like an Inside. Like it's kind of linear, but also there are certain parts in this game that are not linear, and there's more like open exploration, which I kind of like in this game a lot more than those kind of games. But it is kind of like this like post-apocalyptic story, but also just a very simple story about trying to find your family or friends or whatever. And I love the world building in it too.
For a game about robots and a cat, like, it is surprisingly really warm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. Like, I think the way that the robots are portrayed is really, like, heartwarming and a little sad, too. Like, the idea is, hey, all of humanity is extinct. You play as a cat running around a city of robots that have sort of, like, gotten their own humanity. They like make art, and they have all of the like they have individual likes and dislikes and preferences. I guess that's the same thing. And like jobs and stuff that they do in a way that's more than just like service, because it's from what I've read in like the lore and things like that, when robots were first created in this world, like they were just made to be, you know, servants and to help out with things and stuff. But ever since humanity died, following what I think is a pandemic, from what it says, they sort of just were left to inherit everything, and then make their own path, which I thought was it's kind of cool, and it's something that I think is a little warm, because you just like, oh, you've got these people who love to just exist and to find meaning in the things that they do. And I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think, like, how they tell the story, too, it's like all of that stuff about the world and, like, what happened to humans and everything is such, like, the backdrop. Like,
yeah.
If you want, you can just rush through the game without really engaging in any of that stuff. But if you really start to, like, talk to every character, look for every collectible, do everything like that, then you really start to, like, get, like, this, like, really rich, interesting science fiction, dystopian kind of tale. And I think the game is kind of, like, beautiful with its design. Like, not only is the world itself really cool and realized, but, like, you know, you just, like, look out into the vistas and, like, you see all these, like, really beautiful kind of things. And the game itself, I would say the one critique I would give it is that it's just a little short. Like, I think it took me about 5 or 6 hours to get through that first playthrough. But once I do all of, like, the extra, once I get done with all the extra, like, trophies and stuff to get the platinum with it, it'll probably end up being around 11 hours of me playing it.
Sure.
So I think that's a good length, the 11 hours. So I would recommend people to try to get the platinum on this as well.
This is a great trophy list. Great trophy list. You don't like the one that you have to do where you got a speed run?
Yep, my last one, the speed run. I think the reason this isn't a good game for a speed run is because there's so much of it is just like boring cutscenes. You can't, like, not boring is the wrong word. It's like things you can't, like, skip. Like when you're talking to someone, or there's a section when you're on a boat that you can't, like, skip through.
Yeah, you just have to, like, sit there.
It doesn't really lend itself to being a good speed running game. And
yeah, that's fair.
I think the length is just rough enough to make you, like, I realistically, I think you could easily, like, go through a playthrough, try to speedrun it, and not beat it in the 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. I see what you mean.
Like, little room for error. I mean, I think even the world record time, when I was checking when I was first starting this, was like an hour 20.
Okay, yeah.
And
so
those are for people who, like, go hard at this, so.
Yeah.
But.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, okay, so apart from that, then I think that you make some good points. But yeah, I think it's got a nice trophy list that just sort of makes sure that you're exploring.
Yeah, oh,
you know,
absolutely.
which is,
Yeah. And I think really any trophy that makes me play it again is a bad trophy in my mind.
Sure.
But this one does a really good job about the chapter selecting, lets you go back to like try other things, and it like makes it really easy to get to that platinum. And I also think like the speedrun will probably be easier by the time I've like done all the other trophies and like explored the world many times and like different parts. So it'll be manageable, and it's worth to do.
I think that the first time that it really opens up in chapter, what is that, 4 for the slums, which is when you've got to like, they basically just give you a general direction of like, hey, head towards this big sign. You're like, okay. And you start to just say like, oh, there's a shop over here. Oh, there's a guy playing guitar. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff here. I am immediately filled with like, well, I should probably see all this before I go on to the next quest, main quest thing. Like, whatever, fine. But then personally, I got like really invested with like what's going on around here and talking to everyone, because most people don't actually have that much to say. Most of the robots don't have that much to say, but they have enough to say that's kind of like, oh, this guy's got a little personality here. And they mostly say like all the same thing when you like show them a quest item. They don't have like unique stuff to say about it, but they do like point you in the right direction. It's cool. I do really like it. I find it to be really unique. Its world to be really like realized and like, I don't know, maybe I've never played anything that's quite like it in terms of its approach to science fiction, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah, and even that, like, I think the story is great. I think the gameplay is fun, and I highly recommend it. Plus, if you are nervous about it and you have PlayStation, upgrade for a month to get the PlayStation Plus Premium or Extra or whatever it is, just so you can experience that stuff too, and essentially you'll get the game for free.
Yeah,
because you can beat this game in a month and be fine with it, like easily. Yeah.
It's great. So there you go. We'll probably be talking a little bit more about Stray in our Patreon exclusive episode that comes out this week. So if you're interested more about that, go ahead and take a look at our Patreon, patreon.com/hitboxpod. It's so easy. It's $3 a month. We love you.